When you lose someone close to you, it can be a really lonely place. But what I've found from social media is that there are loads more dads out there going through the same thing.
I'm Matt. I was married to Michelle for 12 years. Michelle was diagnosed with cervical cancer in 2017. She died in March of this year.
My name's Kieran Hewitt. I was married to my wife Joanne for 18 years, and in 2016 she was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. And in January of this year, 2019, she died.
I've had people, I don't know if you guys are the same, ask me how like the grieving process is going. I jump from one to the next and all over the place, and I don't see it as a process, because your grieving is just something that I'll probably be doing the rest of my life.
I know that I am still in the very early stages of grief.
Yeah.
I think you're right in what you say, is that you don't get over it, you live with it, and it perhaps becomes a smaller part of your life.
I'd say you experiencing different parts of what they would class as the process, but not all in the same order, not at the times that you're expecting to.
Yeah.
And I think you just
never get over it.
No, I don't think you will get over it, because it's unfair at the end of the day. We've all lost our wives at a young age, and that shouldn't have been the case.
How did you go about telling your kids? Because it's something that will having to tell a 3-year-old that his mummy's died was one of the most heartbreaking things I'll ever have to do.
Yeah. I told the kids as soon as possible after she died. I mean, we were very upfront with them about the diagnosis and through the treatment and things like that, and in the same way I wanted them to know as soon as possible. But quite honestly, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. It's one of those things you never really want for your own kids, is like the sadness at a young age.
Yeah. How useful is it to talk like we're doing now, and talk to people that sort of know what it feels like and what the challenges were like? And
in knowing that you're not on your own, you're experiencing very similar things, and just getting it out there, really. Talking to people now, since she's died, has been massively helpful.
You have to sort of make it a little bit normal to a degree, so you can get on with things, and you can only do that with people, I think, who actually understand.
It's really good for people to interact with other people that have been through this.
I think it's just really, really, really useful when you talk to people who are going through the same thing as you, just to know that you're not alone. Losing your wife or your partner is never going to be easy, but you can talk about it, and I think it does help. I'm Steve Bland, and in September last year, my wife Rachael, the BBC News presenter, died from breast cancer. Here are a few things that I've picked up since. Don't be afraid to have tough conversations. In the weeks and months before Rachael died, we had plenty about her will, her funeral plans, even things like Freddie's hair and the clothes he might wear. But by having those, it made decisions that I had to make after she died a lot easier, and it gave her a lot of comfort as well. However you feel, that's okay. The way you feel after someone dies isn't anything like the way you imagine you'd feel. And actually, you might feel guilty when you start to laugh or joke or feel happy at some of the memories. But actually, that's fine. But whether you feel happy or sad, don't feel guilty about it, just go with it. Don't be afraid to let people in. In the days after Rachael died, I had friends get in touch with me, and I just ignored their phone calls. But actually, some of the good friends of mine came round and insisted on seeing me, almost banged the door down. And it was the best thing they could have done, because once I let them in and once I talked to them, it made the whole process easier. Be honest with kids. All of a sudden, I'm a single dad of a little boy with a lot of questions. And while I can't answer them all, the best thing to do is just try and be as honest as possible.